Hey guys, episode 32 was one of the most interesting and important episodes so far in KIRAKIRA PRECURE, and I was very excited after watching it to share my views with you because I really liked this episode and I really liked how things were developed. So in this episode we've had two big happenings and two main points of the story. One of them is Lumiere, which is the ancient cure, and the second one is Biburi. So we've been away from Biburi for a while, but we've seen her last episode and she was very sad because she wasn't able to bring anything to Noir-sama, the one she loves the most. And then Noir obviously gave her more power so that she could attack the Cures, and that's what she did right at the beginning of this episode. But before that, the Cures were wondering about their animal crystals because all of them were able to transform their crystals into animal crystals, and they didn't know what that was for. So they were wondering and they were asking the ancient cure to help them, but nothing was happening until Biburi got there and started attacking them. Biburi was very strong. She was very powerful. And at that moment, they couldn't beat her. So they asked for the ancient cure help, and she did help them. A big image of her, maybe her soul, brought all of the cures to the past, and Biburi was taken along with them, together with Pekurin as well. Choro-sama was the only one who stayed behind in the present time. So when they got back, they were at the Strawberry Mountain, but in the past. And then it was interesting because the setting was the same, but the way the society was structured was very different. Everyone was very sad. Everyone was so gloomy, and the only way of those people having something happy in their lives was with sweets. And that was really sad because if you compare to the town nowadays, it's very different because the present time things seemed to be very uplifting and people seemed to lead a happy life at that place, and at that time it was not like that. So the cures, they went quick to action because some dark animals started attacking them, but fortunately for them, there was a very nice presence coming and attacking the monsters and helping them, which was Cure Lumiere. I think that, I don't remember if the episode actually called her Cure Lumiere. I don't think so. But her name is Lumiere because she told the girls that her name is Lumiere. So I'm gonna call her Cure Lumiere, okay? Even though I'm not sure if that's her cure name. But it was very nice to see her in action. And I loved seeing her using her powers, and well, all of the girls, it seems that they all have a sweet, a specific sweet that they use in their attacks, and her sweet is a cupcake. And I loved how she used like lots of little cupcakes twirling around her to fight, and that was beautiful. That created a nice image. But I also loved how the girls went quick to action and they started helping her, and they started fighting together with her against those evil wolves that came attacking her. And then when they started talking, I think that this was one of the most interesting things about it, was that the girls, they told her that Lumiere was the one who gave them the animal crystals. So they were asking her, what were they for? What are they for? What do they stand for? How can we use them? And she didn't know about it. She had no idea about what those animal crystals were for. And that's an interesting thing because I think that when it comes to Precure, when it comes to having legendary and ancient cures in past seasons, usually those cures, they're very powerful and they're very knowledgeable. So they know lots of things and they can help the cures, the main cures, with their knowledge. But it was not the case with Lumiere. Lumiere didn't know anything about it because, you know, she sent them, but it happened in the future and they were in the past. So there was this little confusion, and Lumiere didn't know about that. She had no idea about those animal crystals, and that was very interesting because, you know, when we have ancient cures, they fulfill the mentor role, and I don't think that she did, and that's a kind of breaking a tradition. That's kind of you know, changing up the method that Precure always has. So I love that. And then they started cooking together with Lumiere, and they started helping her making sweets, and obviously they all gave a little their little bit of personality to the sweets, and they were all able to share a little bit of their own personalities. I loved seeing Pekuni help the girls. Pekuni is so cute, oh my god. And then Biburi was present at that time, but I'm gonna leave Biburi a little bit for later, because when Noir attacked the girls and they were making sweets, when Noir attacked the ancient cure, the ancient cure was also quick to action, but she didn't accept help from the other cures. And I loved how she said that I am the one who has to defend the past, and you girls, since you come from the future, you're gonna have to defend the future. And she was able to notice what those animal crystals were for in a very nice way. I really liked that, and I think that's one of the most interesting things about KIRAKIRA Precure, which is each girl shines with her own personality and in her own different way. And the difference in personalities in KIRAKIRA Precure is very apparent, and it's brought on every time that they can bring it onto the screen, into the story, because it's very important to who the girls are and who the team is. I think that's one of the most important things in this season. So I really liked seeing that she was able to notice that so quick, because every girl is special because they're all so different. They all have so many different personalities. And that was also brought again after on in this episode. I'm gonna go back to that later on in the episode with Biburi. So let's talk about Biburi a little bit now. Biburi is a very interesting character. I really like Biburi, and I'm gonna have to say this. Biburi's voice actor, she broke everything down in this episode. She was so good. I was so impressed with her. I was so shocked, and I was so I don't even know how to explain this, but I really liked how she acted, and I really loved her voice in this episode. I mean, I think that she always does a great job, but this episode was like the highlight of her work for me. So Biburi went back with the girls. I don't think that it was the Ancient Cure's will to bring her back, but it might have been, because Biburi needed to go back. Biburi needed to stay there and to learn about her past, because she had a twisted, a warped perception of Noir and his love. And this relationship that they had, this abusive relationship that they had, was not perceived by Biburi. She didn't notice that. And after seeing what really happened to her, it was very quick. The episode didn't have time to dwell on that. It was very quick, but she was able to see, she was able to notice that her loneliness, everything that happened to her was because of Noir. And Noir, he didn't help her because she was in need, but she was in need because Noir made the whole situation be like that, and Noir brought all of that doom to Biburi's life. And because of that, she was able to break free from Noir's power. And she was able to break free from his influence. That's the most important thing, because when you are in a relationship like this, I think the influence the person has upon you, upon your mind, is the hardest part to break free from. And I think that she did it. And that was fast. It doesn't happen like that, I think, in life. But at least with Biburi, she was able to break free. She was able to regain her consciousness so fast. And I would like to see more of that. But I'm okay with the way it was shown, because they didn't have time for that. And then they all went back to the present. But when they got back to the present, Biburi's doll, Iru, was infused with dark power, with Noir's power. So Iru was able to contaminate Biburi again, and the girls, they were all ready and set to help Biburi. And Biburi was falling again into that sense of Noir's love, and the girls were able to wake her up and say, come on, you don't need that love. We are here with you. You need to be loved, and you need to do whatever you want to do, and you don't need that kind of thing in your life. That love that Noir has for you is not love. And it was very beautiful, all the girls coming together and all the girls screaming Bibbidi, Bibbidi, Bibbidi. It was a little too much Bibbidi at that time, but you know, the overall scene was very beautiful, and Bibbidi was able to feel that because she, in the end, she was asking for the girls' help and the girls were helping her. And obviously, one of the most interesting things for me was Pecorin bringing back the weapon that Cure Lumiere gave them. It was like a present, but with that, they were able to use their animal crystals. And another thing that I loved, she gave them her toy, not a toy, she gave them her tool, her cooking tool, but they were able to transform that into the KIRAKIRA creamer. And everyone gave a little bit of their personalities into the KIRAKIRA creamer, and it turned out to be that nice weapon. That's another thing that I loved about it. And obviously they were able to defeat Iru with a very nice attack, which is their new attack, which is Precure Animal Go Round, I think. And that attack is so over the top, and it's so colorful, it's so beautiful. I love this attack so much. And I think that one of the things that I liked about this attack was that every girl was able to shine, every girl was able to, you know, use her animal, and all of the animals appeared, and they all did so many nice poses. The only thing I didn't like about this attack was the impact at the end. It was a little boring. You know, I like when there are those big explosions and this boom, and then there's a big hit. This attack, it was not like that, but that was the only thing I didn't like about it. In general, an amazing attack, and I like that the 6 of them are now attacking together, and we're probably going to see this attack for a while. And Bibbidi now is back to being her normal self, is back to being a normal girl. That's a very nice thing. I like Bibbidi a lot, and I think that she suffered a lot, she went through a lot, and I'm happy for her. So this episode was amazing. I think I said too much. Oh my god. And then next episode, things are going to get very intense with Dark Animal coming back. And I thought that Dark Animal was an entity, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like it's just simple monsters that accompany Noir. Noir is the real bad villain from this season, and Noir was there fighting against Cure Lumiere, and Noir is back again, so the Cures are going to have to fight him. But the Dark Animals are going to appear, and they're going to start attacking the girls. And it's interesting because Cure Lumiere is not an animal like those girls are. The 6 Cures from the present are related to animals. And maybe this influence on the Cures started because or after they defeated the Dark Animals in the past. I don't know, it might have something to do with that. Because Cure Lumiere doesn't seem to have an animal reference in her and an animal sense in her. I don't see that at all, and I mean, it's present in the other girls. So I'm very excited to know more about it. I'm very excited for next episode. I'm very excited for the season. I'm loving it so much. Guys, please leave a comment. Let's talk about the new attack. Let's talk about Cure Lumiere. Let's talk about Bibbidi. Oh my god, Bibbidi, I love you so much. So please leave your comment. Let's talk about episode 32. And let's wait for next week's episode, which is probably going to be very amazing. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye bye.